brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Brew. I'm Ryan Bechu, sitting in for Jason Williams for this episode. It's a pleasure to be in your company on a Friday morning in what has been a little bit of a topsy-turvy week for Trinbagonians, having to leave work, having to leave school early yesterday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, spending the night in Trinidad and Tobago last night. He had a pretty packed afternoon yesterday after arriving in TNT and stepping off on the tarmac of the Piarco International Airport just around 4 p.m. yesterday before heading to the National Cycling Velodrome, speaking to about 1,000 Indian diasporic people here in Trinidad and Tobago and making some announcements there as well that we'll get into in just a little bit. Today, he has a packed schedule as well. His day will start pretty early at 10 o'clock this morning, where he will be conferred the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago by President Christine Kangaloo at 10 a.m., rather 9 a.m., I should rather say. At 10 o'clock, he will head to Parliament. That's on St. Vincent Street before addressing both chambers of Parliament at midday today. So lots to look forward to. With Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit here in Trinidad and Tobago before he jets off to Argentina as he continues his trip of the developing world a little bit later on today. Let's have a look at the front page of the TNT Guardian newspaper. Trinidad and Tobago rolling out the red carpet for the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It was a cultural spectacle at the Piarco International Airport and then at the National Cycling Velodrome as well. He made a very important announcement yesterday as well. During his speech last night, he would have spoken at length about India now inviting Trinidad and Tobago citizens to come to his country. But he also says that the sixth generation children will soon get overseas citizenship privilege soon from his government. Let's have a listen of what he had to say.
Today, I'm happy to announce that OCI cards will now be given to the sixth generation of the Indian diaspora in Trinidad and Tobago. You are not just connected by blood or surname. You are connected by belonging.
Yeah, that means the Overseas Citizenship of India card that Prime Minister Narendra Modi was referencing to in that clip. So it's going to be an interesting next few months to see how that rolls out. And the response of Trinbagonians, I was telling one of my colleagues last night, it'll be interesting to monitor what Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit does for Trinidad and Tobago, not just in terms of trade, not just in terms of bilateral relationships, but also with the huge Indian diaspora here in Trinidad and Tobago. If this spurs some level of growth in terms of increase in travelers, visitors from Trinidad and Tobago to India and vice versa as well. Of course, Narendra Modi being a prominent world leader, having been really the face of India in a massive way, having been so connected to US President Donald Trump over his last 11 years in office in India. So what will his trip to Trinidad mean for this Caribbean island in the coming months? It will be very interesting to monitor when he exits today and see how that goes in the coming weeks and in the coming months. On the back page of the TNT Guardian newspaper this morning, also Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar praising Narendra Modi and his government for Trinidad and for the vaccines that they would have donated to Trinidad and Tobago during the COVID-19 pandemic, calling it an act of love. And she also justified the ORTT amid questions and concerns of the ORTT going to Narendra Modi. She justified it. She's moved to justify it yesterday as well. Let's have a look at the inside of the TNT Guardian newspaper as well. The Pope Leo XIV has appointed Archbishop Jason Gordon, the Roman Catholic Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Port of Spain, to the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue. He actually said yesterday in a video statement that he thought it was fake news when he got up and he was going through his phone and seeing a lot of congratulatory messages until he actually contacted the nunciature here in Port of Spain, and they told him that it's actually not fake news. It's real news that he has been appointed a member of the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue. That Dicastery seeks to promote and supervise relations with members and groups of non-Christian religions, with the exception of Judaism, of course, which is taken under the ambit of the Dicastery for promoting Christian unity. So the task of that Dicastery is to assist diocesan bishops in different parts of the world in the formation of those who engage in interreligious dialogue. A very important arm of the Vatican. Congratulations to Archbishop Jason Gordon on his recent appointment. Overnight, some very developing news as well that we continue to follow, and we will talk about a little bit later on this morning. At 11 p.m. last night, on Thursday, secondary entrance assessment students would have been able to log on to the internet to computers across the country and see what their students, what their children, which schools they would have passed for. When we come back, we'll have Martin Lumkin, the tutor president, talk us through what that process has been like. And I'll also share with you an interesting perspective from a principal I know, or what they think about the entire process of releasing the results of the secondary entrance assessment examination to students across the country. Stay with me for this interesting, unique perspective from a principal. Next.
Embrace life with Guardian Life.
Every sunrise brings a new beginning, a quiet promise that we're never truly alone in life's journey.
So grateful for this precious life. Embrace it with a fearless stride. Dig so deep to turn your dreams to reality. With a bright future on your side. Through every journey you will find what you've earned and accomplished. You now deserve to be. Embrace life with Guardian Life. Only you can pave the road for your legacy. Is one step closer to live easy.
Embrace life with Guardian Life. Life, health insurance, and pension solutions.
The L. Edwin Hair, Skin, Wellness, Beauty, and Beyond Exposition is here. Our wellness providers will be on site to offer free consultations. Our fitness providers are all geared up to kickstart your wellness and fitness journey. Our travel agents are giving away free hotel stays to Grenada and beyond. Join us at the Center of Excellence on July 5th and 6th at the Bougainvillea Hall, where everything comes to life. Tickets are only $100. Let's elevate your image, your event, and your lifestyle. We can't wait to see you there.
Struggling with heart health or frequent migraines? Discover the simple steps to reclaim your energy and vitality.
We're diving into a topic that affects about 422 million people around the world. Diabetes.
Tune into Wellness Unlocked, the series that delivers expert advice, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you take control of your health and well-being. Your health matters. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on CNC3 and take the first step toward better health.
It is now official. As of 11 p.m. last night, thousands of students across Trinidad and Tobago who sat the April 10th examination, the SEA examination, will have now known which school they would have passed for. And I know that Hanif Benjamin was on this program. I was mentioning to the producer just before the program started how excellent Hanif Benjamin was yesterday morning on this program as students and teachers and parents get up to find out what were the results of this examination. We have Martin Lumkin, tutor president, on with us this morning. I'm going to come back to Mr. Lumkin in just a minute because I want to address the entire SEA situation, is the best word I can use, for a little bit before we begin the interview, because there's a lot to say about the SEA examination. There's a lot to say, and most people say, well, we need to finish with it. We need to replace it. Replace it with what? We're not very sure as yet. Maybe a national learning assessment. Whatever that looks like in the future, it looks adamant that governments past and government present look adamant that they are interested in getting rid of the SE exam at some point in time. It just seems like a matter of time, but it also seems like a matter of what is the best role of assessment for these young students as they enter and transition into secondary schools. We can have that conversation. We will continue to have that conversation next year and the year after that until it's actually replaced. But as the Catholic Education Board of Management chair once said, we can't move forward if we keep saying that it's not working, we have to go back. Interestingly, the method in which the students would have gotten their results last night raised some eyebrows. Now, it's not very different from last year, and it's not very different from the year before that either. But there was an interesting take from a principal who just randomly messaged me last night, and I thought it was an interesting take. You don't have to agree with it, but I think it adds to the conversation in a real way. And I'm going to read it. It'll take about 30 seconds, but I'll read it. I don't want my exuberance to intoxicate my verbosity, but I have to shatter the cruel silence. I am not accustomed to waking up to go to Zen, I'm guessing he's talking about the nightclub, for 11, to start a party or to go to a fete somewhere, so this waking up for results is nerve-wracking. I am from the old school. Are we in the era called progress, or is this treatment to thousands of parents, teachers, and children slow poison? Yes. The humane, supportive medium of physically distributing the results has been snatched away from those who would have invested in time and love building relationships with parents and children. Exchange of hugs and cementing ties at the right moment have been destroyed. But at least save our kids the pain and torture. Do your thing. Release the results online, but in the morning, please. The exuberance of this grandfather's verbosity waiting on his granddaughter's results may be directly proportional to his intoxication. Somebody help me not to accept this. A school principal talking to me last night, and I thought it was an interesting perspective. Martin Lumkin, welcome to the program. Thank you very much for joining us as you usually make yourself available to us. We always appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bichu. Good morning to you. Good morning to your team, and good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
That was a school principal that I was in conversation with last night. What do you make of his or her statement?
And we've had reports and feedback from our members concerning along the same lines that our dear principal has expressed. A number of our principals, teachers, educators, even parents are, as they say, old school, and to have to switch from a physical to an online. Both methods of releasing have its advantages as well as drawbacks. And I know that the ministry's trust is in terms of going with the technology and online. And we know the positives that can come from that in terms of psychologically for the students and the parents. And we also know the positives of being there together, awaiting the results. The principal or representative usually goes and get the physical results, and then it is released to the students. So it is a matter of having to adjust to what is now being presented. In terms of the time frame, in the night, I know the ministry, when they attempted in the past, last year, there was almost a crash on the system, and they would have tried to mitigate against it this time by having it earlier. We haven't gotten any feedback as to the how it worked this year, but I can tell you that from what I've gotten, the students were able to get it as they logged in. Sorry, and that's from a personal view as well too, because my fourth child wrote a CA this year. She was able to get it online.
Extend our congratulations to her, please, Mr. Lumkin. It's just been about 7 hours since the portal has opened. You've given me a little bit of a sneak peek. What are the preliminary reports you have gotten?
We haven't gotten, because of the time frame as well too. As the principal would have said, it's late into the night, and sometimes early morning that persons would have logged in. So we haven't been able to get a true reflection of it, or even preliminary. But what I want to say as well too is the consideration of the online as well. There are parents who do not have access to devices or internet connection at that time period, and will rely on getting the results or at the school or going to some relative or neighbor to assist them in getting the results. So that's one of the drawbacks we have to look at, and utilizing the technology. Not all of our parents or students or even educators have access to the device and the internet connection as well.
Yeah, Education Minister Dr. Michael Dowlett, in response to those concerns, did tell us that the parents and children can attend the school in which the child would have gone to, and collected the physical slip this morning to find out which school the child would have passed for. I want to switch the conversation a little bit as we transition from the secondary entrance assessment examination into the July-August vacation, and then into the academic year, the first term of the academic year. It's going to be a pivotal 7 weeks. It's not even going to be 8 weeks as I understand it, because schools will close on the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be a crucial 7 weeks. And one of the challenges that we've had down the years, Mr. Lumkin, is how do we ensure that our schools are refurbished, repaired in time for when the students come back in September, that they're able to start in September 1, but also that they're able to exist in a school for 8 or 9 hours that is habitable, really. Have you gotten any early indications that the new administration is being proactive, or as proactive as can be, in getting every school ready for September?
Okay, thank you for that question. Before I address your question, Mr. Littrell, just one other thing in terms of the SEA results. The schools are being sent, or the schools can access the results online, because as you said, parents who cannot access the devices, etc., can go to the school. However, we have one challenge, and we intend to raise it with the Ministry of Education. The school can access it through the principal's personal FAC account and not the school's account. So if a principal is on leave at that time, the school cannot access it because it's being sent to the principal's FAC. We have instances of principals going on sick leave, and the school, it will be a challenge for them to access it. So we are going to address that with the Ministry of Education and going forward. In terms of infrastructure, when we met with the Honorable Minister and his team, there was assurances that they will be dealing with infrastructural work during the vacation period. And we're always mindful, because this particular factor impinges on infrastructural work, upgrades, etc., health and safety. That is the funding and the economic situation which we are facing at this time. And I know that successive and this present administration would like to have all schools repaired and in a state of readiness come September, but it is not because of the financial situation and the time period that it is not possible for all schools to be addressed. We did ask the Ministry of Education for a list so that we can monitor the schools and give in advance the administrators the heads up that their schools will be under repairs during the vacation period. So that. But
how do you? Sorry to cut you, but how do you assess which schools? Because every school, every teacher and every student and every parent would say my school is very important. How do you assess which schools are to be repaired or refurbished during the July-August vacation, and which schools are put on the back burner?
So the Ministry of Education has looked at what they call emergency situations, or situations that can close down the school. So they look at electrical, sewer, other health and safety issues, and they categorize it, and would look at the the most serious issues that can impinge on the reopening of school, and they will classify it as such. There are instances when they can look at other areas, they will. Last July-August vacation was one of the worst we would have seen, whereby the repairs did not start on time. There was no apparent list that we could have accessed. And we're hoping that this year it would not be the case, and that we look at, there are many, many schools that have great health and safety issues. And we are hoping, we look forward, because we just have a week again. And as you rightfully said, 7 weeks in the vacation, it means that if we are looking at some serious upgrades and infrastructural work, that they have to start as soon as school closes. We are not aware of the schools as yet, but we are hopeful that the ministry will reach out to us with a list of schools that are there for repairs.
Let's do a little bit of reflection this morning, Mr. Lumkin, on the last academic year. This is the closing of the academic year. There's one week left for school as of today, 1 week left. What were the major challenges? And I know that we're going to talk about school violence in a minute, but what were the major challenges, and what are you hoping that the next academic year brings that, and we can leave behind in the last academic year?
Our educators have faced many challenges, not only the last term, but the last academic year. Our educators in the primary school, we are facing curriculum overload. The curriculum is packed, and our educators are being asked to deliver and to have education, teaching, learning processes take place within our classrooms, with many challenges, lack of resources. Teachers have to dip into their pockets in order to purchase resources for our students. Resource assignment is also one, whereby schools have to engage in fundraising in order to have the schools run properly. Yes, we are getting funding from the Ministry of Education, but it is not adequate, and sometimes it is not getting to the schools in a timely manner. In secondary schools, their fundings have been reduced over the years, and some of the schools have been getting additional intake, and those are some of the challenges. We have students who are supposedly underperforming, but we are not getting the resources to assist in bringing them to a level of functional literacy. The whole area of technical vocational education, we are not too certain in the direction which we are going, but we know that it is necessary. We have the ECCE teachers who have been getting issues with their contract, renewal of contract, and even terms and conditions of employment. We have teachers in Tobago who are under contract, and we are hoping that there will be a semblance of bringing them on the establishment. But further to that, they have not been paid their contract gratuity, some of them, the majority of them, and we're hopeful that they can get that out of the way. But the whole idea of, again, violence and indiscipline, as well as curriculum support and support for our nation's educators going forward.
Yeah, I want to touch on a very key point that you just made. You spoke about the challenge of some of our children going into schools and forms that they're simply ill-prepared for. That's one of the real, if not failures, certainly challenge of our education system, that a number or a large fraction of the students who write the SEA examination, Mr. Lumkin, is not ready for the Form 1 curriculum. Am I right, and how do we address that?
There needs to be support from even ECCE level in identifying children who may have challenges, educational challenges, other challenges, and give that support from all levels. ECCE, primary education needs to be enhanced, and the support of the Student Support Services Division, we have always lamented that they are understaffed and under-resourced. They play a pivotal role in the education system, and they cannot carry out their functions and duties because they, as we have said in the past, they are assigned to clusters of schools and cannot give deep intervention when necessary. So there needs to be that support in terms of the Student Support Services Division, the referral process as well too. And when we identify these students, there may be the possibility of having them in special institutions. We have the Lady Ho Choi home, etc. We need to give more support for those persons. And the continuous training of our educators needs to be something that is enhanced. And I know that the Ministry of Education, through Dr. Kornberg, is attempting to do this, and we are working with the ministry when it comes to continuous professional development. And educators on the whole needs to be on top of their craft. Education is evolving and it is not stagnant. And as such, our educators need to be on top and appreciate that they have to be ongoing training.
I want to stick in one very quick question before we wrap the interview, Mr. Lumkin, and that deals with school violence. The words, the statements, the rhetoric when it comes to the government stance on school violence, it's almost as though it's a zero tolerance approach. It's been very candid statements. However, are you seeing that it's having an impact? And are the statements actually being backed up by action by this government? And what would you like to see in the new academic year to really stifle the number of school violence cases we've had?
As stated before, Tita has always said that the school is a microcosm of the environment and the country. And as such, the issue of violence and indiscipline, and the Honorable Minister did say that to us, that we should not be looking at only the symptoms, but looking at the causes. And as such, there needs to be a wider attraction of interventions when it comes to that intergovernmental agencies. But at the level of the schools, there needs to be interventions at an early age again, where children, students are displaying these behaviors. And two, we have to have in the short term the complement of school health and safety officers at the secondary schools, our security officers to man and to patrol, and also the support of Student Support Services Division. It is early in the game of this new administration, but I know they have made very strong statements, and we look forward. We agree with the Honorable Prime Minister that enough is enough and that we need to have these interventions. But we're also saying that these are short-term, and we look forward to the long-term interventions, not only in our nation's schools, but throughout Trinidad and Tobago, such that we can make a dent in this issue. And we look forward to working with the Ministry of Education when possible to ensure that our schools are safe and secure and that the teaching and learning process isn't interrupted.
Tutor President Martin Lumkin, thank you very much for getting up this early to talk to us on the Morning Brew. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Martin Lumkin, the Tutor President, on the Morning Brew here this morning as SEA results rolled out at 11 p.m. last night into today. Whatever you passed for, whichever school you passed for, whatever school your child passed for, it's now over. Congratulations to all 18,000 plus students that would have sat the SEA examination. This is a hurdle that you have crossed. It doesn't matter which school that you go to, it's what you make of that school. Stay with us here in the Morning Brew, because when we come back, there's a huge Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Conference happening in Trinidad and Tobago on July 17th. What it could mean for this country and this region, next.
At Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, we are committed to providing quality products for all major building projects. Let's build together with rebars and beams, BRC coils and mats, RHS and angles, roofing sheets and purlins, lumber, plywood and MDF. Bagwansing's, building homes, building communities, building TNT for over 60 years. Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, building value every day.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Mom, Dad, this is Trevor.
Hi. He's no Kieran. Back up.
Fling? That's why he crossed the road. It was funny when Kieran said,
Ooh, who could that be?
We're like the parents who don't miss your ex.
I can't believe Kieran is in the neighborhood.
CG United. Good like that.
Are you tired of the same old boring drive home from work? Look no further. Get ready for the ultimate after-work rush with Freedom 106.5 FM's The Overdrive with Davey. Mondays to Fridays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Let Davey take you on a thrilling ride of non-stop entertainment and education. He covers the topics of the day, delves into the latest food and lifestyle trends, and brings dynamic guests from exciting professions to share their professional stories and experiences. Take advantage of this energizing and engaging experience. Tune into Freedom 106.5 FM, Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for The Overdrive with Davey, the ultimate way to end your day with a bang.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
On July 17th, here in Trinidad and Tobago, the Radisson Hotel, the BBNJ will host a huge conference. That's the High Seas Alliance will host a huge biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction conference, and it aims at really raising the awareness level and perhaps even getting Trinidad and Tobago as a signatory. I have High Seas Youth Ambassador Ariana Bire with me this morning. Ariana, welcome to the program. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning.
It's going to be a very important conference in the context of Trinidad and Tobago and perhaps becoming a signatory at some point with the BBNJ Treaty. But first of all, explain to us what the BBNJ Treaty is.
Well, in order to understand the treaty, we first need to understand what is the high seas. The high seas covers almost half of the Earth's surface and is home to incredible biodiversity, sustaining several livelihoods. And it plays a key role in regulating climate and the adverse impacts of climate change. Therefore, it is prone to a lot of overfishing, deep sea mining, pollution. So we have the high seas that is beyond 200 nautical miles from a state's jurisdiction. Therefore, it's beyond Trinidad's jurisdiction. And the High Seas Treaty, also known as the BBNJ Agreement, Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction, is a treaty that was adopted in 2023 that provides guidelines on protecting these vulnerable waters.
So let's talk a little bit about the conference. What is the conference about? What are the hopes of the conference?
Well, the conference, the National High Seas Workshop, being held on July 17th at Radisson Hotel from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. It is to raise awareness about the BBNJ agreement and its implications on ocean conservation in Trinidad and Tobago. It also aims to encourage national dialogue on Trinidad and Tobago's pathway towards potentially signing and ratifying the treaty ahead of the UN General Assembly, and of course having a multi-stakeholder engagement among policymakers, legal experts, and several youth advocates.
The conference, as I understand it, will bring together different sectors of society, civil society, politicians, as I understand it, leaders in the industry. So it's going to be a quite complete conference.
Yes, definitely. We're going to have the Minister of Agriculture, the Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development. We're going to have Ms. Lyneka Scott, the Caribbean Regional Coordinator from the High Seas Alliance, Ms. Rebecca Hubbard, the Director of the High Seas Alliance, and several other legal experts such as Ms. Diva Amon, Dr. Divan Amon, who will elucidate more on the importance of the BBNJ agreement for Trinidad and Tobago. I will also be a speaker there to encourage youths to engage with it more and highlight the importance of ocean conservation in Trinidad and Tobago.
What has been the greatest challenge you feel for some Caribbean nations like TNT that is yet to sign on to the BBNJ treaty?
I think one of the major challenges is the lack of prioritization of marine conservation. I think we put a lot of priority and relevance to environmental protection, and we leave out marine conservation. In fact, blue economy has become a new thing this year in 2025 for Trinidad and Tobago, where we're working towards the sustainable use of marine resources for economic growth. So definitely the lack of prioritization.
There's also going to be a screening of David Attenborough's film Ocean at this workshop. Tell me about it.
So that screening is about highlighting the importance of the ocean, the love we need to have for the ocean, and the importance of ocean conservation and protection, and our part that we need to play in addressing the threats to our marine life.
You have been a youth ambassador for the High Seas Alliance, which has really done yeoman service globally in terms of pushing not an agenda per se, but certainly advocating for better management of international waters. Tell me a little bit about the success that the High Seas Alliance has been able to have in really not only with this treaty, but protecting the vulnerable parts of the ocean.
Well, currently there are 136 signatories to the BBNJ agreement, the High Seas Treaty.
That's a lot.
And 50 ratifications. However, we need 60 ratifications for it to be entered into force, which means when it's entered into force, it becomes legally binding on ratified states, and that means there can be a further act of incorporation in the local legal domestic realm in each ratified state's legal system.
What if Trinidad and Tobago is to sign on to this agreement? What do you think are the advantages for a nation like ours? Which, by the way, sometimes we like to think of ourselves, Ariana, as a small island developing state, while in reality we are a large ocean state.
Mm-hmm. Well, the High Seas Treaty provides for mechanisms such as mandatory environmental impact assessments, area-based management tools, technological and marine science capabilities. So by signing on to this treaty, Trinidad will have access to several advantages, such as these I mentioned, to advance ocean protection in our country, and it will be one step closer towards moving with the international community towards global governance and protecting the ocean.
A large part of this conference a large part of the mission of this conference is to raise awareness about the BBNJ treaty. Do you think it's sorely lacking in this country, or have we gotten better?
I think we still have a lot of work to do in raising awareness of this treaty. For example, it's my job to raise awareness among the youth diaspora about ocean conservation, because ideally, in reality, a lot of persons in Trinidad and Tobago do not know what the BBNJ agreement is, do not know what the High Seas Treaty is, and its importance for our small island developing state and the Caribbean at large. So I definitely think this workshop is a pivotal step towards raising that awareness and creating a greater impact.
But Ariana, you also have the right people in the room. You have the political leadership, you have those who are in charge of the environment, you have the civil society stakeholders, you have those who are involved in the climate movement, you have Dr. Diva Amon, who is one of the most credible voices when it comes to international waters and the high seas. So it's not just about educating the young people, but it's also about making those who actually can take the policy to Parliament and have it ratified there in the room.
Yes, and that is what this workshop is going to do. It's going to bring these important stakeholders together and highlight its importance and its necessity for Trinidad and Tobago. And we hope that after the workshop, we can make movements towards signing on to this treaty and ratifying it into our domestic legal realm.
Why do you think there's been this hesitation, not just from Trinidad and Tobago, but from many other Caribbean nations to sign on to this treaty, or to sign on to any treaty, really? Sometimes you have the fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty. Sometimes you have the nuclear non-proliferation treaty.
So I think that we tend to prioritize economic growth more so than environmental and marine protection. We do so much to advance the GDP, the economic growth of our countries, and we forget about the blue economy, the importance of marine protection and what our waters and environment can do for us. So I think we need to shift our focus to more environmental and marine protection.
Now, I know that the conference that's happening on July 17th is one that's only invite only, but give us some more details about the conference. Again, if you'd like to reiterate, who are some of the most important speakers that will be at that conference?
Yes, so the conference will be held on July 17th from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Radisson Hotel in Port of Spain, and you can request an invitation by sending an email. The email will be provided, and to Ms. Lenika Scott, who would be a speaker. She is the Caribbean Regional Coordinator of the High Seas Alliance, and Ms. Rebecca Hubbard, she's the Director of the High Seas Alliance. We also have essential experts such as Dr. Diva Amon, who is our Caribbean Regional Expert on the BBNJ, who will elucidate more about it, and we have several ministerial officials that will be coming on as well.
You have Ariana Beery as well, High Seas Youth Ambassador, who will be delivering a speech as well. Ariana, thank you very much for joining us on the program. We do appreciate it. The High Seas Alliance will be hosting a major BBNJ conference, that's Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction, as Ariana was pointed out, beyond 200 nautical miles, is it?
Yes.
From Trinidad and Tobago's borders, which is not our waters, but in fact international waters, does not actually belong to anyone,
Correct.
if I have it right. It doesn't belong to anyone. Who is protecting those waters? Who is standing up for those waters? Or is it that any country can go in there, mine, deep sea mine, overfish? You know, who's standing up for those waters? Well, the High Seas Alliance is, and they'll be coming to Trinidad and Tobago, an international NGO, traveling to the Radisson Hotel on July 17th for this major BBNJ conference. So look out for it then. Stay with us here on The Morning Brew. When we come back, we have a lot more for you.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung, and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
Kickstart your career in IT with the BSc Information Technology from the University of Bedfordshire, delivered at CTS College. The BSc Information Technology equips students for the latest jobs in the IT field. Benefit from online learning environment, dedicated program manager, WhatsApp groups with students and lecturers, shared drive with lecture notes, recordings, assignments, and more. Tutorial support for assignments. Email CTS College on study@ctscollege.com.
Welcome to Food Basket's Hyperactive Fitness Club in Arima, where achieving your goals is our #1 priority.
Hyperactive Fitness, baby, that's the place to go.
This is Mary. Mary has bills to pay and takes a chance parking in front of the building at the no parking sign. Mary returns to her car And this is what happens. Mary decides to call when she's 5 minutes away to let her daughter know that she is close by. But Mary forgot one thing.
Boy, second ticket for the day. I don't know, nah? I really don't know. Well, I tell you.
After 2 tickets, Mary just isn't paying attention to her speed.
You see a fixed penalty notice, fixing speed limit 15 kilometers. You have 30 years to pay, 15 years to contest.
It has short other people. Look at all the people passing. All they ain't seen them. All they seen me, right? Eh? All they too wicked.
Don't be like Mary. Obey the laws of the road. A message from the TTPS.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
Make sure you have yourself a great invest week by viewing The Boss Report every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. during CNC3's The Morning Brew. You'll get sound financial advice, whether you're a new or experienced investor, when you view The Boss Report. CNC3, covering your world.
This is more than just music. This is where you find the best of TNT. This is more than just a vibe. This is where Bollywood gets a twist. This is more than just energy. This is Bhangra and indie pop too. This is the mix. This is the life. Lock on or log on now. Sangeet 106.1 FM. This is authentic East Indian radio. This is us.
Ask the Doctor's new season is here as Dr. Joel Tilak Singh covers a range of topics and, most importantly, answers all your medical questions.
Join us on Ask the Doctor live on CNC3 on Thursdays at a new time of 8:30 p.m. with a rerun on Fridays at 11 a.m.
The Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, teaching the truth about God's people, God's plans, and the secrets of God, all written within the pages of the Holy Bible, which is the Word of God.
Watch The Hidden Truth every Thursday at 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. on CNC3.
In just over a month, PowerPair Productions will host Run Like a Woman around the Queen's Park Savannah on August 9th. I have with me on the program this morning Makeda Bailey, who is an organizer, as well as Therese Cummings, who is also an organizer of this incredible event that they're going to talk to us about now. Makeda, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hi,
great to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about Run Like a Woman 2025.
So Run Like a Woman, it's a celebration rather than a race. It's a platform to bring awareness to what it really means to be a woman. So we want to bring awareness to things like mental health,
domestic violence against women, some of the challenges,
women's safety,
equality,
gender equality, these sorts of things. So it's really not a competitive event, but rather a feel-good day basically for women.
Yeah, I totally get you. It's not about winning the race, it's not about losing the race, but it's about everybody sort of winning in some way by attending. What inspired you to have this event?
So, me and my colleague here, Therese, we just started the organization, and because we are women ourselves, we thought that our really coming out event should be something based on that sort of thing. Because we as women and as mothers know the challenges that we face every day that is basically overlooked. So we thought that it would have been nice to bring awareness to something like that. It's not about, how to say it, not about excluding the men, but rather to just bring awareness to the men that these are things that happen every day that we don't speak about.
Yeah, I like how you put that. It's not about excluding the men.
Yes.
But for one afternoon, for one day,
exactly,
just spotlighting the women and the issues that women face.
Yes.
Therese, let's talk a little bit about the inspiration behind Power Pair Production, because it's a fairly new startup.
Yes.
And you guys are using this platform to push Run Like a Woman 2025, really, as Makeda was saying, to really inspire not just women, but an inspired change in our society.
Yes, and that is why we came up with the name Power Pair Production, because it's built by women.
And by a pair.
Powered by purpose. So we crafted our first event based, as she said, on both of us. So we're an organization that we want to transform the sporting landscape. So instead of having just a normal race, we wanted to make sure we put detail, we put purpose, and we put joy in everything we do. So if you watch our Instagram platform, you would see everything that we put on our page. It's not just about us, it's about including everyone, male, female, everyone.
You know, this comes at a real crucial time. We see the challenges. I mean, I read 7 o'clock news. We read about the challenges that women are facing across Trinidad and Tobago. Therese, what are you hoping that this really does for women across the country?
Show them that we all can stand together. Fathers, sons, partners, friends, everyone can come together and join with all women on this special day to walk or run around the Queenspark Savannah.
Such an interesting point you make, because Makeda, we mentioned it's not about excluding men, but it's very much about men as well, because I guess part of the event is to really help men to further understand the challenges women face and how they can help eradicate those challenges.
Exactly. So part of the campaign, we did invite the men to come and run for their loved ones. So we have a slogan, Run for Her. So it's to come, you run for your daughters, your mothers, your wives, you know, these things. So it's really to support the women, at least for that one day, because the women, we put ourselves last most of the time to support our families, our careers, all of these things, our kids. So it's about just that one day to give us something special.
Therese, if a woman is watching this or a man is watching this and wants to run for her, his daughter, his niece, his wife, his mother, how can they get involved in this event on August 9th?
They can register on Race Roster. Our platform we are using is Extra Mile, and the cost is $150. If they choose to purchase a jersey, it's $145, but they don't have to. Today is the deadline for t-shirts, because we didn't expect the t-shirt to be at that high amount, but it is. But they need to register today because we're almost sold out.
Yeah, and it's just over a month until the event. What, Makeda, has been the feedback so far from people who have been registering?
A very good question, because it was overwhelming. The support was overwhelming. We didn't expect the numbers, because we're catering for 500 persons and we're already 90% sold out.
Wow.
We have like 50 spots available. So we weren't expecting it to skyrocket that fast, but I am happy for that. We are happy, and we thank to the sponsors. We are getting the sponsors in, and people want to support the event.
Where do you hope to take this next year, in the coming years? It seems as though you've planted a seed here, Makeda. What would you like it to evolve in?
So we would love for it to be an annual event. Well, we plan to have it every single year, and for it to be bigger every year, for more people to get involved so that we can do more. So we also want to at least get scholarship programs for the young ladies, because I have a daughter, she's a national athlete, and she's also our first brand ambassador. Her name is Aniqua Bailey. So we want to get stuff like scholarships for women and have like counseling sessions and all these things donated to us to be able to give out to the women.
I'm going to give Therese the last word. Therese, remind the audience how they can connect with you guys and how they can get involved on August 9th.
August 9th, 2025, you can register or you can just come out and support women, men, women, children, everyone is welcome.
Around the Queen's Park Savannah on August 9th, run like a woman, and it's not just for women. Men can also run for her, whether it's their daughters, whether it's their nieces, whether it's their mothers, whoever it is. It's a terrific event. Therese, Makeda, thank you all very much for the work that you guys have been doing to push the boundaries in terms of how we treat with women in Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean. We appreciate you being on the Morning Brew this morning.
And thank you for having us
the opportunity.
No problem. Let's take a break here on the Morning Brew. Head to the 7 o'clock news. When we come back, we'll have a lot more for you.
Be the architect of your dream home at Richmond Park, Cunupia. Choose your land and create the home you desire. Lots start from 5,000 square feet and homes from 1,700 square feet. First 7 lucky buyers get $50,000 off your purchase. Use up to $25,000 towards your down payment. Richmond Park, where home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. Prices range from 1.8 to 2.4 million. Madras Main Road, Cunupia, for 355-7703.
Thunderwal, powering industry, fueling progress. Reliable fuel pumps, meters and nozzles. From dock to deck, marine tools, hoses, PPE and fittings. Hydraulic, automotive and food-grade oils and lubricants. For all your manufacturing needs. Pallet jacks, intrinsically safe tools and more. Browse live stock and prices on our website at www.vanderwailtt.com. Visit us today.
Shop Southern Food Basket anniversary specials now. Garlic 1 pound for $9.95. Russet potatoes 5 pounds $17.95. Grill Master Burger patties 2 pounds $49.95. Great value crinkle cut fries 5 pounds 2 for $59.95. Golden brand margarine 4 for $19.95. Anchor cheddar cheese 250 grams 2 for $44.95. Richport vegetable oil 500 ml 3 for $19.95. Lucasade Energy 360 ml 3 for $18.95. Chubby 3 cases for $100. Clorox 1 gallon $26.95. Double duty medium garbage bags $17.95. With every $300 you spend at any Southern Food Basket, you can qualify to win a brand new Suzuki Grand Vitara. Much more prizes to be won, including Caribbean getaways, staycations, and shopping spree.
Period nights don't have to look like this. Move less, wake up to change. So change for a real night's sleep with Always Overnight. Its 3 times protection system absorbs, locks the fluid, and keeps it away from your skin. For protected nights without leaks. Always.
Good morning, I'm Doris Polo with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. As former CPEP workers await word on when or if they will be rehired, the Minister of Public Utilities says the company's new board will be revealed next week. Minister Barry Padarath told CNC3 News details will be finalized soon. The new CPEP board is expected to be given a mandate to register new contractors under updated stipulations for improved transparency and efficiency. Hundreds of CPEP contractors, reportedly over 300, were terminated on June 27th, reportedly affecting approximately 10,500 workers. An audit into CPEP's assets, contracts and operations is ongoing, as the minister says none had been conducted since 2020. Workers and former contractors have protested outside CPEP headquarters, demanding answers and clarity on when they will be rehired. The Steelworkers Union is urging government to be compassionate and intervene in the ArcelorMittal liquidation, now dragging into its 9th year. After a creditors' meeting at Cara Suites Hotel in Claxtonby, union members and former workers left disheartened with no resolution in sight. Union President Timothy Bailey told reporters the plant's assets were handed over to TT Iron and Steel, but the liquidator only received partial payment of $3 million of the $30 million owed, and that was redirected to Plipdeco. He says while the buyer takes control, the workers remain stuck in limbo with no severance or settlements.
I am saying this is an ideal situation for your intervention. The Keith Rowley-led P&M did nothing for 9 years to steelworkers for whatever reason. And we are saying that under the circumstances, no, you cannot allow citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to go through the suffrage and a liquidator to operate the way this current liquidator is operating now.
A Couva mother is demanding justice after her 13-year-old son was badly beaten outside Union Claxton Bay Secondary on Wednesday. The Form 2 student had just left the school when two Form 4 students attacked him on the pavement. She believes it stemmed from an incident a few weeks ago when he stood up for himself because they were bullying him. The principal called the police and sent the child for medical treatment, but his mother says that's not enough.
They will do somebody else that again. They will do another child it again. You know, and given what you see happening at Holy Faith Convent just a few weeks ago, and then this happened, what next? I just want justice for what they did to my son. I don't know, maybe if you have not, at least more than suspension.
Those were your 7 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at 8 a.m. right here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network.
Welcome back to the second hour of the Morning Brew. We're so glad you can join us on a Friday morning, this early anyway. In the first hour, we talked about the secondary entrance assessment examination. Results as of 11 p.m. last night are now on the Ministry of Education's portal. Good luck to all of the children that have sat the SEA examination, but it is not, absolutely not, by any means the end of the world if you did not pass for the school that you would have wanted to pass for. And parents, you have a huge responsibility over the next 24 hours and going forward in dealing with how your child really deals with whichever school they would have passed for, especially if they didn't pass for a school that they would have wanted to. In this second hour, there's a health fair happening tomorrow. If you're in the West, if you're in the North, or if you're in any part of the country and would like to head to St. Clair tomorrow, the Royal Philanthropic Lodge will be hosting a health clinic in St. Clair. I have the pleasure of welcoming to the program Dr. Jerome Phillip as well as Kurt Leakwai. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Thank you all very much for being here. It's an important time, really, it's to have a health fair. Now, I say that really only in the sense that 6 months in the year, Dr. Phillip, 6 months in the year have passed. We have another 6 months to go. It's a good time to figure out where I'm at health-wise. Am I right?
No, absolutely. Especially as we get older, things go wrong with our bodies. And the Royal Philanthropic, together with the Ministry of Health, are having a health fair tomorrow at the Royal Philanthropic Lodge at 9 Herbert Street. The whole benefit behind the health fair itself is to educate people. So we will have screening for diabetes, cancers, blood pressures, the regular bits and bobs that we have. And what we're trying to do is just promote healthcare and have an understanding of the various diseases and pathologies we have in our country.
Yeah. What inspired it, Kurt?
The Ministry of Health has a program throughout the region that was funded by the IADB. The technical director had approached the district lodges to have a health fair promoting men's health. Then we got wind of it and we said, all right, we would do it. All right, Royal Philanthropic is the oldest English lodge in Trinidad, and the most progressive lodge. So our guys, within the 2 weeks, we said, all right, we'll put it together, and with the help of the brethren and with the Northwest Regional Health Authority, it's going to happen tomorrow. You mentioned about diabetes, you mentioned about cancer screening. What can people expect when they show up tomorrow? And why would you encourage people? I mean, sometimes we take health for granted when we are not sick, Dr. Phillip.
Absolutely, and even as a medical practitioner myself, I have to look introspectively. Just recently, I've had a few friends, I'm in my mid-40s, and they've had issues with heart attacks and so forth. So you are absolutely correct. Even though that you're young, look fit and healthy, there are things going on inside our bodies which we need to pick up. And the best way to pick it up is via screening. So when we pick up diseases early, we also save money in the long run because we can actually preempt the inevitable.
Yeah, that's such a good point. more and more young people, I'm not sure if I'm just making this up, I'm not sure if it's an observance, I'm not sure if I'm getting the statistics wrong, but it just seems that more and more young people are not only getting cancer, but also those heart diseases and heart attacks. It's just happening in a snap of a finger, Kurt.
Yes. I don't know if it's from COVID or whatever, but COVID made everyone more aware of their health. Since COVID, I've known quite a lot of people who've died. 1 year, about 6 or 7 people that I know died within the first 4 months of the year. And young people, 35 years old, 20 years old, getting a heart attack. Men have always been the stalwarts. That's what we are made out to be. And we don't really look at our health. I had a little health scare with my mom recently, and brothers stepped up and helped me a lot. But as we were preparing her, the grave, in case anything happens, I realized that my father was only 5 years older than me when he passed.
Wow.
Right? So we all, as men, we tend not to look at our health, but we should. We need to.
Yeah. What would you say, Dr. Philip, to the population to encourage them to come out tomorrow, given the challenges that we face? And I want to talk a little bit about non-communicable diseases as well. When we talk about health in the Caribbean, particularly in Trinidad and Tobago, our non-communicable disease rate is really alarming.
No, it is. By trade, or by profession, I should say, I'm a cancer surgeon. I'm a head and neck cancer surgeon. And I've trained in the UK, and the observation that you made actually kind of hit home, because coming back to Trinidad, I actually see a younger age group coming up with that non-communicable diseases. And it's not just the diabetes, the high blood pressure and so forth, it's the cancers that's hitting home really. I now see a younger population in Trinidad than I do back up in the UK. I do not know what exactly it is. It's just an observation, and perhaps we need to do a bit more research on what the factors underlying these things. But a simple thing as health awareness, as we are trying to do with the health fair screening, it can raise a general awareness in the population about how we eat, how we exercise, how we move, and keep healthy, really.
Yeah, how can this health fair, Kurt, kickstart a change in lifestyle, a change in how we think about healthcare, a change in how we think about our own health, and how do you feel for people like myself who maybe put it on the back burner because you have so much work to do, because you have so much chores to do, because you have to do different things to do? How can tomorrow in St. Clair be a game changer for people like us?
For you personally, if you, God forbid, drop down and die tomorrow, they will find a replacement for you. So your primary... Pretty quickly. So your primary concern is your health, right? If you're not healthy, you're no good to anyone else. This health fair is a promotion by the Ministry of Health and the Northwest Regional Health Authority about non-communicable diseases, and to promote and to emphasize to everyone that they need to see about their personal health. That's why they have all these screenings, and they've been doing this throughout Trinidad and Tobago, north, south, east, west, etc. And we are here just to facilitate, using our lodge, using our personnel, our brothers to help, to organize it, and coming on the show to promote it. If we reach one person or two persons, right, that's a better person, a healthier person. And if they tell somebody else, and etc., and that is what even the brotherhood is about. It's about making good men better.
Yeah, but you're also using the expertise of someone like Dr. Philip. Dr. Philip, you know, you made an interesting point that I don't want to just be undervalued. In climate change, we always say that the cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of action right now. It's very much the same with someone's health.
No, absolutely, absolutely. To treat somebody within what they call a tertiary centre, for example, in Mount Hope and Port of Spain, it's very expensive, you know, because you have the doctors and nurses, the ITU, and all those salaries to pay along with the normal ward care. If we now take that into the general population and make it into primary care, the health centres, the health fairs and so forth, you're talking about less resources in terms of human resources and so forth. So in the long run, if we try to get back into a primary care setting, it will have a huge benefit in terms of economic resources as well as human resources and improving quality of life.
I want to give you guys the opportunity one more time to just preview what attendees tomorrow can expect in St. Clair, Kurt.
Right, so the health fair is from 10 o'clock in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. We have the various health screenings, about 10 or 11 stations, including insurance companies giving some information. We're going to have some entertainment, and the Ministry of Health has given us some giveaways to those who come to do the health screenings.
All right. Kurt, thank you very much for being on the program with us. Dr. Phillip, we appreciate all of the insights that you were able to share this morning. Anything else you'd like to share before we wrap?
No, just congratulations to all the young boys and girls who have passed the SEA exam.
Right.
And of course,
and the parents.
And of course, it is never too young to mind your health. So even if they are primary school students who are heading into secondary school, it might be a good time for them to visit that health fair as well. All ages are welcome in St. Clair tomorrow. Kurt, welcome back to the program. Thank you very much for being with us. Dr. Phillip, we appreciate your time as always. Let's take a break here on the Morning Brew. When we come back, we'll continue with the show.
Food basket, nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic for everyday low price. Things real nice, come in once but to come back twice. Wholesale, retail, everything for you. A remush, I wanna shop, let go view. Food basket, the nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. Food basket, hypermarket, Arima, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
So I hear Better Homes has the best kitchens.
You heard right. We have Shaker style, modern Euro, and hardwood.
I like this one. Can I test it right here, right now?
Sure, but how are you going to do that?
All right, you all, come inside. Are you ready?
Time's alive! Oh, a spice rack.
Soft closed door hinges. Oh, this countertop's nice, well.
It's hot. So, what do you think?
Well, this 100%. Is it. I'll take it. Build the kitchen you love for less at Better Homes, Carney or French Street.
Are you tired of the same old boring drive home from work? Look no further. Get ready for the ultimate after-work rush with Freedom 106.5 FM's The Overdrive with Davey. Mondays to Fridays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Let Davey take you on a thrilling ride of non-stop entertainment and education. He covers the topics of the day, delves into the latest food and lifestyle trends, and brings dynamic guests from exciting professions to share their professional stories and experiences. Take advantage of this energizing and engaging experience. Tune into Freedom 106.5 FM, Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for The Overdrive with Davey, the ultimate way to end your day with a bang.
Ask the Doctor's new season is here as Dr. Joel Tilak Singh covers a range of topics and, most importantly, answers all your medical questions.
Join us on Ask the Doctor live on CNC3 on Thursdays at a new time of 8:30 p.m. with a rerun on Fridays at 11 a.m.
Our connection is reliable, credible, and authentic. Thank you for trusting me to bring you the news. It's a privilege to be in your homes and hearts. With every story and every newscast, CNC3 is keeping you informed and inspired. When it comes to news, we are where you are.
My wife has been on my case to buy her a second diamond ring. Subsequently, I have had to go back out there and do some things.
You said that a little bit too slow.
Whoa.
I've been forced to go out there and do some things.
Don't miss Family Feud. New episodes weekdays from 6:30 p.m. Marathon repeat weekly at 8:30 a.m. Saturdays at 8:45 a.m. and Sunday at 9 a.m. Only on CNC3.
Some of us like to test limits. But there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Get the story first. Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today.
Calling all filmmakers, producers, content creators, influencers, and recording artists. If you're looking to rent a versatile studio space with green screen, video wall, cyclorama, and more, look no further. GM Labs is here to make your dreams a reality. Located in the heart of Port of Spain on St. Vincent Street, GM Labs is your one-stop shop for all your creative needs with over 2,800 square feet to work with. Take your creative concept to the final product at GM Labs. Give us a call or WhatsApp or message us on our Instagram and Facebook pages at GM Labs TT.
You know, whenever I do this segment on the Morning Brew, I'm always astonished at the absolute talent we have in Trinidad and Tobago. Everyday people, ordinary people, just starting businesses, some of them just taking a chance, some of them just trying. Last time I was on here, I got food because there was this young lady who is experimenting with chai, and she was making delicacies with chai, Indian delicacies with chai. This one, however, blew my mind when I first read about it in the newspaper, and then I saw it on CNC3 television. Tion Morales, and you know him because you've seen him because he's gone viral, has started a business called Bruise on the Road. Welcome to the program, Tion.
Hi.
I have so many questions for you.
Yes.
Let's start with Bruise. Tell me about Bruise on the Road, because as we all understand it, it's basically you're selling coffee on the highway.
Yes. So I found a gap. I saw that service, that I can, create a business by just serving convenience, and the gap was basically serving hot coffee to customers in their car.
Oh, wow. How did you even recognize that this was a gap in business, that this was something that you could actually do that could actually service people?
Okay, well, I always want to be an entrepreneur, and always thinking ideas on how can I be one unique, different, and sitting in my car transporting a guy, Rodney King, and he's like asking for some coffee. And that where it started to build, the idea started to build, and it's like, that is a very interesting business because no one is doing it. So why not take the chance?
That was a chance, yeah.
Why not challenge myself and reach out and do something totally different from everybody else?
That is, wow. Tell me about when you started and how did you manage to start? You have, it's very heavy, you're walking down which highway? Tell me about the start of it.
Well, the start was nervous, it was something different. I don't know how Trinidad will have taken by it. After hearing about the idea about the coffee, I went to Venezuela and I saw a young boy with a kind of coffee mug, and he was pouring like little espresso in plastic cups, and the idea started to develop, and I started to do some research, some think, and how to be able to bring this dream alive, reality, to be able to serve, and being, that want to be an entrepreneur, is more like inspiring young people to step out, to try something new, not just to copy, but to be uncomfortable, to be impactful, to make a difference in doing something that you might love.
What type of feedback have you gotten?
Well, I've gotten positive feedback. I want to say Trinidad, I love them so much. Trinidad people, very supportive, they when I went Pfizer, everybody was like, Bruise, and it was very emotional, very impactful to see that people like Trinidad people love you so much, you know, as a young man, you know, now venturing something new, you know, and they really receive it.
Did it surprise you?
Yes, it was surprising.
Tell us about some of the highways that you hit, which roads you go on, which roads you go on to sell, and what it really influences where you go.
No, well, right now I'm at Trinity because I believe being consistent on one route create where you build your customer base. You know, you have your regular customers, you build the customers, and they look out for you every morning. You know, I love to smile. Smiling is key. You know, and just to see people smile back, hi, good morning. You know, hi, good morning today, and everything like that. You know, and that for me is wow. You know.
Yeah. When you look at this, you and I were talking just before the camera started rolling again. You actually have plans of expanding, of growing.
Yes, of course. I believe this is something that should be gatekeep. I find that I could inspire young men to do something, you know, to earn more, you know, to be able to be innovative as well, you know, and be able to make an income, you know, also opportunity for employment, you know, and to be impactful for young both men and women, you know, and I want to say thank God for this opportunity, you know, and a lot of people came on board and you know, different consultants, you know, Eyesight Square Consulting, we have Solution X, Solution X, you know.
Really supporting the work that you've done.
That's correct.
You had to take time off from work because you started 6 a.m. in Trinity.
Right.
You had to take time off from work to come to do this interview with us, which we appreciate, by the way.
Yes.
But your phone has been buzzing all morning.
Yes. So people has been calling and saying, "Hey, Bruise, we not seeing you on the road. What's going on?" You know, a lady's like, "Yo, I want more coffee," you know, stuff like that. So, you know, people really adapt to this so quickly. You know, sometimes people tend to be very like, what is that there? You know, they optimistic.
Curious.
Yes, they're curious. You know, so.
You tell us how it works, because you've got this, what looks to be a very, very heavy backpack on you. You've got cups to your left, and I'm now only seeing, I'm seeing the pipe to the right. Tell me how it works.
So it's basically like when someone is like, "Hi, can I have a coffee, please?" And like I pull, and then I just pour right here. Yes, sir.
Right.
Then I get a lid. Sorry, I lid it.
Do I need to add sugar or?
Yeah. Well, I also have package of sugar and thing also as well, so I could just hand the customer this.
Perfect.
There you go, sir.
Thank you very much.
Right. Okay, and enjoy your coffee.
How much does it cost?
$20.
Wow, and it's all right on the go. This is terrific, Tion. That's okay. Tell me a little bit about where you hope to go in the next few weeks and the next. This has just exploded, but very quickly as well.
Yes. So this is something new for me. You know, I'm not really, yes, I am an entrepreneur, but I'm still learning the basic, you know, in terms of procedures, you know, guidelines, you know, talking to a lot of people who like to invest, you know, they want to be a part of it, you know, it's a movement, you know, it's innovation, you know, and I'm looking forward to maybe expand, you know, 10 Bruise champions on the road, 20 Bruins, even people from Guyana, Barbados, from Jamaica reach out to me. It's like, yo, we want to be a part of it, we want to experience this. Even a guy, you know, message from Tobago is like, yo, I want you to come across Tobago, you know, so.
It's really novel, isn't it? Because I have not seen it anywhere else. Have you?
Well, no, not really, but not like this. Yeah. But you know, people do certain things, but not like coffee like this.
I guess a lot of people would like to ask. Even we were asking while we were miking you up in studio. Is it really heavy?
Well, to me, no. After a while, they get accustomed to it because it is really, it's compact. It's like it has a kind of cushion on the back, so it has your back very comfy, your shoulders very comfortable. So it don't really take on, but you know, it's very exciting to see that I can make people smile.
Yeah.
You know, I could be impactful for the youths, you know, and that they could step out and do something.
So you start at 6. What time does your first shift end?
Well, whenever I sell out. Most cases it sell out. So like some days are hour and a half, some days are hour.
Wow.
Some days incredible, you know. You know. And I plan to do more stuff, you know. Because people give me ideas, and I say, yo, you know, add a little something, a little syrup, you know. So I'm cooking up, and you know, I'm trying to get more stuff on board, you know.
What would you tell people, young people like yourself, who are watching this morning, and really they probably have an idea, just as crazy as your idea was.
Yes.
But what would you tell them?
I will tell them, number one, have faith in God. All right? Believe in Him. Number two, block out the noise. As I always say, you can have a poor idea. Proper execution will always trump a good idea, poor execution. Right? So once you focus and you understand that, you just take it with a pinch of salt. Don't be afraid to step out. Accept the challenge, and you'll be fine.
Tell us how people can get in touch with you if they need to get in touch with you.
Well, I be on the road from Monday to Friday. I also do events. My number is 266-7358. My Instagram is Bruise on the Road. TikTok as well, Facebook. You know, and I would always say, like, a lot of people help me. You know, a lot of consultant company, like I say, Eyesight Square consultant, they reach out to me and help me. Brittany Gonzalez, amazing person, reach out and help me as well. I want to say thank you to everybody. You know, thank you especially to my boss. He's my mentor, Daniel Factory. He's an amazing man.
So you have a day job?
Yes, I have a day job.
So this isn't your only job?
Nah, this is my
Tell
only
us what
job.
you do during the day.
So I am customer service specialist for Domino's Pizza. Nice pizza, awesome service, right? So that is my job, you know, help training with customers and stuff like that, you know, dealing with customers when they have a problem and how we can create experience.
So when we think that your day ended at 7:30 because all the coffee is sold out, you actually have your day job
yes,
at 8
I go,
o'clock.
yes, that's correct. I go on different stores. If I have to meet new employees, train them and stuff like that, and it's good.
You know, Tion, I must be honest with you. I read your story first, as I mentioned, in the newspaper, and then I saw it on television. And in a country that can often seem like we have a lot of bleak news, you really brought terrific, positive, optimistic news to this country, and that's why people have fallen in love with your service and yourself. Thank you very much for taking the time. You're losing money right now not being on the road, but we appreciate you taking the time to come on the Morning Brew this morning, and we look forward to seeing you on the East-West Corridor and beyond in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes. Have a good day.
Tion Morales, Bruise on the Road founder, owner, and now he's going to head back out on the road on the Brew this morning talking to us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The L. Edwin Hair, Skin, Wellness, Beauty, and Beyond Exposition is here. Our wellness providers will be on site to offer free consultations. Our fitness providers are all geared up to kickstart your wellness and fitness journey. Our travel agents are giving away free hotel stays to Grenada and beyond. Join us at the Center of Excellence on July 5th and 6th at the Bougainvillea Hall, where everything comes to life. Tickets are only $100. Let's elevate your image, your event, and your lifestyle. We can't wait to see you there.
Shop Southern Food Basket anniversary specials now. Garlic 1 pound for $9.95. Russet potatoes 5 pounds for $17.95. Grill Master Burger patties 2 pounds $49.95. Great Value crinkle cut fries 5 pounds 2 for $59.95. Golden Brand margarine 4 for $19.95. Anchor cheddar cheese 250 grams 2 for $44.95. Richport vegetable oil 500 ml 3 for $19.95. Lucozade Energy 360 ml 3 for $18.95. Chubby 3 cases for $100. Clorox 1 gallon $26.95. Double duty medium garbage bags $17.95. With every $300 you spend at any Southern Food Basket, you can qualify to win a brand new Suzuki Grand Vitara. Much more prizes to be won, including Caribbean getaways, staycations, and shopping spree.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order.
Whether it's the pursuit of peace and wellness, an ancient elixir, or new nourishment, or the chance to walk in the footsteps of strong spirits, Turkey's Anatolia region is brimming with hidden treasures waiting to be discovered and embraced. These are their hidden treasures.
Welcome back. Time to hit the ground running now. Our team has been talking to you out in the streets, towns and villages across Trinidad and Tobago about Former Prime Minister Stuart Young and being denied a pension. It was passed in both the House of Representatives this week as well as the Senate. Let's toss over to see what you had to say.
So just a little take on that pension amendment bill. Stuart Young, the former Prime Minister, and of course the parliamentarians, at least the sitting government now, going against that pension. And I guess the decision being made, it seems like he will not be receiving his prime ministerial pension, but just his member of parliament pension for his service to the country.
I believe he didn't serve long enough. Because I think pension as a thing should be more or less like a maturity. It had to mature. You understand? It had to be serving for a while in the office before the pension could actually be activated. I think it was like, as some people say, a kobo sweat. It didn't make sense. You know, get into the thing, you understand? And then you receive the perks from it. You understand? True to the fact that, well, the government changed. You understand? But, I don't believe that he's supposed to get if it's the ordinary pension that he was supposed to receive, I could agree with that.
But he going to receive that?
Right, he's receiving that. But to see that pension in the office that he assumed just before he went back out of office,
Okay, my feeling is that as anything else in life, whatever he has put in, it is his due to get what he has put in. You understand? Because everybody else would like to get in any walk of life, whatever they have put in. If it's 1 day, if it's 5 seconds, you were in that position, and I believe you should get what you deserve. Okay, that's it.
Regardless of the fact that it was a couple of weeks, you think that the pension should be that prime ministerial pension?
Not the entire thing, but if you could work it out in a way that you would get what is deserved. If it's 2/3 of what is the good.
Indeed. And I want to thank you. So you believe that his pension should have been forthcoming?
I believe so.
I agree with taking away that, but as I say, it looked kind of pointedly in the sense that it looked like it pointed at me alone, rather than a law to involve people really further down the road. You know, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, because even in the service, we don't get a pension until you serve, a number of years and you left. So, in a sense, I agree. But, you're looking at the others coming behind. It's something happening. And the government is not there. The people who are there, if they haven't served a year, are they going to get anything? So we have to look at the bigger picture, but I agree. He should, he would get whatever he has to get, but the government pension, he must be in the service for longer than a year.
Yeah, because it was literally some weeks he served as Prime Minister.
Yeah, because even though you have a contract, you don't get a pension until you finish that contract. So in that sense, I agree.
Appreciate it.
Welcome, darling.
All right, let's stay with Jason Williams out on the field because he also has his weekly segment, Get Something and Pave as well.
Welcome to the latest installment of Get Something and Pave. We find ourselves here in Trin City, obliquely opposite the mall. And this issue here, it is very problematic. For those who are not familiar with the space, this could be a serious issue when it comes to your suspension, your axle, your rims and tire. And it's literally right where your wheel is supposed to pass. Smack in the middle, strategically placed in the middle of the road. And as you see motorists negotiating the space. This here is a cause for serious concern. Now there's another serious, deep, small but deep hole, a little up yonder, that's by the Legacy Center. And if your car gets entangled in that hole, it will be a blunder. Look at the truck, having to negotiate front tire and back tire. So again, if someone is not familiar with the space, you're driving here at night, this could cause serious damage to your rim, tire, axle, your suspension could be compromised. Again, Get something and pave. Again, not this one alone. There's another one up yonder. And if you go down in that, it will be a serious blunder. We say pave it. Watch this. Better than that. Get something and pave. Sort it out. Immediately. We say pave it. Pave it.
Jason Williams doing it the only way Jason Williams knows how to do it as well. Let's check in with Jean-Marc Rampersad to see what the weather will be like today. We should get some scattered showers, he was saying. Good morning, Jean-Marc.
Good morning. In today's weather app, we head over to Turkey, where a wildfire killed a second person in one of Turkey's western provinces on Tuesday, as blazes raged for a seventh day across several regions, while a little-known group claiming ties to Kurdish militants said it was behind dozens of arson attacks. The latest casualty was a backhoe operator who died while battling the flames. Earlier, an 81-year-old bedridden man who was home alone in the same area died when fire reached his house, marking the first death since the fires began. Wildfires across Turkey's west have damaged around 200 homes, and victims have been provided with alternative accommodation. Some 50,000 people were temporarily evacuated earlier this week from areas of fires fueled by high temperatures, low humidity, and strong winds. Now we head over to California, where wind-driven flames also devoured hillsides along Cuyama Highway. As crews worked to cut fire lines, pilots made strategic drops on the so-called Madre fire. The red stuff is Phosgene, the fire retardant. It certainly is mesmerizing to watch them fall on the hotspots. Now, half a dozen other planes made countless water drops with refills nearby, and law enforcement officers even taped off areas to protect their investigation into what sparked this fire. Sundowner winds also made it very difficult to fight the blazes. Now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today, where we can expect generally partly cloudy conditions with a few showers during the morning and afternoon, with the chance of 1 or 2 isolated thunderstorms favoring the afternoon and more likely over the western half of Trinidad. Now conditions are expected to settle by the late afternoon with some lingering cloudiness into tonight. That's all for today's weather app. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Jean-Marc. Let's take a break. When we come back, Parang in July. That's all I'll say for now.
There's something here for everyone, from baby to adult. Anything you need, it is right here at Food Basket Super 99.
Food Basket Super 99, affordable and trendy. Food Basket Super 99 Arima, where fashion meets affordability.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
ChatGPT, I'm falling.
Failing grades? Contact Student Hub.
I ain't say failing, I say falling.
Then it's time to stop failing. Student Hub helps students succeed online. If school feels like a free fall, Student Hub helps you land on top.
If there's one person we could point to who created the blueprint for terror in the digital age, it was this guy, Junaid Hussain, a computer lover, hacker, a modern-day social media influencer. It's why on August 24th, 2015, he would become the first hacker in history deemed dangerous enough to kill in a drone strike.
This is more than just music. This is where you find the best of TNT. This is more than just a vibe. This is where Bollywood gets a twist. This is more than just energy. This is Bhangra and indie pop too. This is the mix. This is the life. Lock on or log on now. Sangeet 106.1 FM. This is authentic East Indian radio. This is us.
My wife has been on my case to buy her a second diamond ring. Subsequently, I have had to go back out there and do some things.
You said that a little bit too slow.
Whoa.
I got it. I've been forced to go out there and do some things.
Don't miss Family Feud. New episodes weekdays from 6:30 p.m. Marathon repeat weekly at 8:30 a.m. Saturdays at 8:45 a.m. and Sunday at 9 a.m. Only on CNC3.
Jingle in July is happening later this month, and I want to welcome to the program Del Toro. Del Toro, welcome back to the program. You've been here before.
Yes, definitely. Thanks.
Tell us a little bit about Jingle in July.
Right, so this is my first event, and of course it's related to the Christmas in July that we have now started so much in Trinidad and Tobago. This is my first event in July, and it's actually my event. And we're doing it at Campbell Restaurant in San Fernando on Sutton Street here.
What inspired you to have, I know that you, and you're right, the Christmas in July momentum has sort of now reached Trinidad, but what inspired you to have your own Jingle in July?
Well, I've been planning an event for the longest while, but trying to do it around the Christmas time, and it gets so busy for us that it's kind of hard to actually plan these things to get it done, right, to execute. So July gives us a little more of a cushion time-wise to get it done. So finally, I get to do my event.
What can people expect on July 13th?
Oh, lots of things. We have Licia Jagasa, we have Ellie Charles, we have Daddy Chiney, we have a band called Sunidas Divinos. $200, finger food inclusive, DJ Dennison. It's music, it's party, it's just a good time.
It also gives you an opportunity outside of the regular Christmas season to also, sort of exercise your trade in the middle of the year. Does that help?
Yes, it does actually, and I'm happy that Trinidad adopted that because it actually originally started in the United States, and we only recently adopted it, and it has become something predominant now, I think, and you can see it in the stores now. It's actually where the consumers are actually doing Christmas in July sales.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you hope that you accomplish with this Jingle in July concert?
Well, definitely, it's just about the patrons really to satisfy the desire for that Christmas feel in July. And of course, to give you a good time. You know, Trinidadians just love to have a good time, and good food, good music. Good vibes.
What type of response have you gotten? You mentioned about Christmas in July. Some people don't believe in it really, but also there are some people, as you yourself mentioned, that crave that sort of early Christmas feeling even in the middle of the year.
Well, definitely. The response has been really, really fantastic so far. I mean, I must say I appreciate that, and of course, tickets are selling out, so you know you need to get your tickets early, guys. All right, but more so, you see, I think what I realized that. Even it started as one day in July, and now it's the entire month, right? So everybody used to choose that one day to do the Christmas cooking, the pastel, the ham, the sorrel, and the punch and stuff like that. So now it's actually a whole month. So why not have an event?
Yeah, you also have a pretty good lineup of artists there. You mentioned them to us. They too must be excited, as you are, to contribute to this event, but also to participate in a way that is outside of Christmas.
Yes, definitely, because I mean, obviously, in the Christmas aspect of things, regards to from September to say December, is very close knit, and then Carnival encroaches on that time. So it gives us a little more flexibility as artists to definitely apply.
All right, tell us a little bit about what you'll be performing. You will be performing for us now. Tell us a little bit about what you'll be performing, not only this morning, but what type of songs will you be performing next week?
Well, I'm actually hoping that my artists can fulfill, because I will be doing the master ceremonies, that kind of thing, most of all. But obviously, performing my...
You will. You cannot have a mic in your hand and not perform.
Yeah,
we know that.
Yeah. So, definitely some soca parang, of course, but crossover, of course, soca, different sort of genres of music.
I do want to ask you before you perform, though, Del Toro, that this sort of opportunity that you are offering to these artists also gives them a chance outside of the Christmas season, a much needed opportunity, by the way, for them to keep their craft going even outside of, it's not just one, not like, you know, some genres of music in Trinidad and Tobago are just one season, but it also gives them a chance outside of the Christmas season to be performing, you know.
Yes, definitely. And again, because they are multi-talented artists, of course, but to apply that soca parang feel, I mean, parang itself has a whole different feel, you know.
Yeah.
The genre has a whole different feel. It's a love, it's fun, you know. So definitely, yes.
All right, well, let's hear what you have for us this morning.
Parang.
All right.
Oh, 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 hey, parang day. Oh, 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 tell them where the parang day. Come on. Humble and 13, you know. Hey, give me. In Trinbago, my sweet Trinbago, the parang go start tonight. From Cedar straight up to Scarborough, we parang till morning light. Oh, yeah. Come let we, come let we, come let we, come let we, come let we start the barang. Oh, come let we, come let we, come let we, hey, come let we sing the barang. Hey, come let we, 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 come let we dance the barang. Oh, come let we, 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 come let we sing the barang. Hey, Christmas time in Trinidad is time and food in the backyard. When you talk about Tobago, blue food babas want me for so. Come let we, come let we start the barang. Come let we, come let we, come let we, hey, come let we sing the barang. Hey, come let we dance now, come let we sing now, come let we dance the barang. Come let we dance now, come let we sing now, come let we dance the barang. All night, rang badang, bang badang, rang bang bang badang, dance the barang. All night, rang badang, hey. 1 week of the month of June. Paranderos writing. Don't forget me. When we reach in September, parang music take over. Hey, come let we dance the barang. Come let we, 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 come let we sing the barang. Hey, come let we dance no, come let we sing no, come let we dance the barang. Come let we dance no, come let we sing no, come let we dance the barang. All night, rang badang, bang badang, rang bang bang badang, dance the barang. All night, rang badang, bang badang. Hey, in Trinbago, my sweet Trinbago, the barang will start tonight. Yes, in July in Canberra, we party till morning light, boy. Dance the barang, dance the barang, dance the barang, come let we dance the barang, boy. Sing the barang, sing the barang, sing the barang, come let we sing the barang. Dance the barang, dance the barang, dance the barang, come let we dance the barang, boy. Sing the barang, sing the barang. When the music hit me soul, we just start to lose control. Hey, so let we sing it loud and bold. So clap around to the world. Come let we, come let we, come let we, come let we dance the barang. Come let we, 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 come let we sing the barang. Hey, come let we dance low, come let we sing low, come let we dance the barang. Come let we dance low, come let we sing low, come let we dance the barang. All night, rang badang, bang badang, rang bang bang badang, dance the barang. All night, rang badang, hey. Dance, dance, baila, oh, let we sing the barang. Come on. Christmas in July, Jingle in July, yo! Come let we come in. Let we dance the barang all night.
A little bit of what we can expect on July 13th in San Fernando at Camberley Restaurant. Fantastic.
Thank you.
I do want you to remind our viewing audience where they can get tickets and some of the artists they can expect.
Definitely. We have tickets available at Camberley Restaurant. You can call me on 784-4843 as well to get tickets. WhatsApp or call. There are tickets available at Tucker's Bar, Restaurant and Lounge, Steve's Restaurant and Lounge and Bar. in Laramine, Hookers Bar and Lounge as well. And of course, as of lunchtime today, South Tuco office.
All right, and just recap some of the artists that these patrons will be hearing on the night.
Of course, we have the master man himself, Mr. Eddie Charles, the crossover king, Mr. Dali Chiney, and the beautiful and super talented Alicia Jagasa. And of course, Sonidos Divinos featuring Quattro Band, DJ Dennison, DJ Bass Factory, Renzo. Come on now, it's going to be fun. Of course, yours truly.
And of course, Del Toro. Del Toro, thank you very much for warming up your voice so early in the morning for us. We appreciate you kickstarting our Friday with Jingle in July. Let's take a quick break here on the Morning Brew. When we come back, we'll have more for you.
So I hear Better Homes has the best kitchens.
You heard right. We have Shaker style, modern Euro, and hardwood.
I like this one. Can I test it right here, right now?
Sure, but how are you going to do that?
All right, you all, come inside. Are you ready?
Time's alive! Oh, a spice rack.
Soft closed door hinges. Oh, these countertops nice, well.
It's hot. So, what do you think?
Well, this 100%. Is it. I'll take it. Build the kitchen you love for less at Better Homes, Caroni or French Street.
Food Basket. Food Basket, nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. For everyday low price, things real nice. Come in once, but to come back twice. Wholesale, retail, everything for you. A remush, a water, shop, fair, go view. Food Basket, the nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. Food Basket, Marketplace Shoguanas, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right.
Embrace life with Guardian Life.
Every sunrise brings a new beginning, a quiet promise that we're never truly alone in life's journey.
So grateful for this precious life. Embrace it with a fearless stride. Dig so deep to turn your dreams to reality. With a bright future on the side. Through every journey you will find what you've earned and accomplished. You now deserve to be. Embrace life with Guardian Life. Only you can pave the road for your legacy. Embrace life with Guardian Life. Every step is one step closer to live easy.
Embrace life with Guardian Life. Life, health insurance, and pension solutions.
It is Friday morning. We are on the cusp of the weekend. Let's give you something to think about this morning. Okay, we're going to bring it up soon enough. There we go. Strong people don't put others down, they lift them up. A quote from Michael Watson. Strong people don't put others down, they lift them up. I'm actually supposed to do the social media bit first. That's why it took so long to actually come up on the screen. I did the wrong order. Let's tell you how you can connect with us on our social media platforms now. You can send us an email if you think that there is a topic you think should be discussed, if you have any thoughts on the program. Also, if you have any suggestions of guests we should have on the program, send us an email at tmb@cnc3.co.tt. We always love hearing from you. You can also send our producer, Nikisha Alexander, an email at nikisha.alexander@guardian.co.tt. Follow us on social media at CNC3 News on Instagram, CNC3 Television on Facebook, and CNC3 TV on Twitter. Use the hashtag TMB so that we can know that you're speaking directly to us. Also, download the CNC3 mobile app where you can find verified breaking news right to your mobile device as soon as the news breaks, and also follow developing stories as they develop across Trinidad and Tobago, the region, and the wider world. The Guardian website is also a good place for you to get all of the latest information on what is happening as it pertains to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit. That is the Indian Prime Minister here in Trinidad and Tobago. He has a packed schedule today. In addition to bilateral meetings, he will be conferred the ORTT as well. So be sure to visit guardian.co.tt. I want to end where I begun. Well, first of all, my producer just reminded me, and it's a very good reminder as well, it is the 4th of July, meaning it is Independence Day in America. So we want to take this opportunity to wish our American friends happy Independence Day. Also, today there'll be a lot of traffic restrictions in and around Port of Spain. So if you work or live in Port of Spain, it'll be a good day to sort of follow the TTPS's social media platforms and our social media platforms as well, because there'll be a lot of traffic restrictions with Prime Minister Narendra Modi heading to President's House and then heading to Parliament on St. Vincent Street in Port of Spain. There'll be a lot of traffic restrictions. There'll be a lot of traffic as well, so be as patient as you can. I want to end where I started because I think it's a good opportunity for us to talk to maybe perhaps an audience that wasn't quite awake at 6 a.m. this morning. Overnight, SEA students started receiving their results. And there are a lot of things we can say about the secondary entrance assessment examination. We can say that it doesn't make sense. We can say that it's brutal on children. We can say that it's not a good measuring stick. We can say that it's too early. It's too difficult for too early for these children. We can say a lot of things about it. We can also say that 11 p.m. at night is also way too late to be releasing the results on the portal. What I would like to end by saying is that much of these factors that I've pointed out, much of the arguments that we have pointed out on this program and different spaces such as social media is really dependent on how we view it as parents, as guardians, as teachers, as supervisors. That's the important thing. I mean, if a child doesn't pass for the secondary school of their choice or of the parents' choice, how do we now move ahead? How do we react to that? Do we come down on them? Do we act disappointed? Do we act like we're disappointed? No. And I think that even last night, I heard a lot of people saying, well, why would you do it at 11 p.m. at night? Well, perhaps the ministry is thinking because it's so late at night, you'll be able to stagger the flow of how many people actually log on to the portal, which in fact makes sense, right? But also, if it's not in the best interest of your child, and you think that it will make them not want to go to bed if they look at their results at 11, then don't look at it. Then get up in the morning, have a routine at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and then sit down behind the computer and then go through. Have a conversation with the child before you actually do it. Let them know how you're proud of them. But I think a lot of the factors that surround the secondary entrance assessment examination, we sometimes think if we remove the examination, those factors will be removed as well. Not so. They will stay, and it's up to us to be good parents. It's up to us to be good guardians. It's up to us to lead by example. Thank you so much for joining us on the Morning Brew this morning. We truly appreciate it. We want to take this opportunity to wish you a wonderful, safe weekend. The roads are going to be wet at some points over the next 2 days, so please be safe wherever you're heading to. And whatever you do, enjoy it, and remember to help someone, help anyone that you can help. Have a great Friday.
Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.